We're gonna put weight into the head, and then once your weight is in your head, press your head back into your wrist. So the action is pushing through the backs of the wrist. That's gonna stop you from leaning too far. The head now is on the ground, and it's gonna push into the back of your wrist to activate the neck muscles. Same thing, one leg up. We're not balancing the headstand at this point in time. So take your head to the ground. Even if you, by the way, it doesn't matter if you know how to balance it or whatever, that's not the point. The drills are what matter. The technique, right, and understanding of your body is what we're going for. Okay, so here we go. My head is now on the ground. Walk the right foot in as tight as you can. Left leg straight up to the sky. Dorsiflex, load it up, and then plantar flex. Put the weight into your head and push down into the backs of the wrist. Dorsi, and then plantar again. Push and back down one more time. Press the back of your head into the wrist, wrist into the ground, and then release. That's your headstand prep position. Now we're gonna work on handstand prep position, which is exactly the same. The only difference is your fingers are now what we push into instead of the back of the wrist. Your wrist joint becomes the elbow joint. Place a block behind your forearms and find out what vertical is for the forearm. So that means the block should be on the ground and right behind the back of your wrist. You can use your knee to kind of nudge it. And your fingers grip the ground. Then lift the feet up. And once you understand where vertical is, you see how I'm not vertical right now because I'm knocking into the blocks. So what I have to do is lift the heels up and then lean all my body weight into the fingers and grip the ground. Look at your belly button, ribs back, and form this handstand prep position with your shoulders to your ears, fingers gripping the ground, ribs back, and then release. That handstand prep position is the thing to do if you want to work through the fears of being in a handstand because your feet are still on the ground and you build the strength, you build the necessary techniques in your body to eventually have the courage to be able to go up and the confidence because it builds your awareness of your hands and your body weight as it shifts forward. You see right now all my weight is in my feet and the angle of my forearm is not perpendicular. So I'm gonna grip the ground, that's the resistance. Lift the heels, lean forward, grip, push through the fingers, and then lean back. Lean by lifting the heels up, push through the fingers, shoulders to the ears, and back. And I'm gonna suggest, let's look at the abdomen. Okay, fingers to the ground, watch this variation. You come into handstand prep 1, and then you lift the left leg up and look at the left leg and lean, grip, push. And maybe you want to go back and forth. That's up to you if you want to. This is a little bit more precarious because you got one leg up and you're shifting more body weight as a result with one leg up. Okay, so give that a shot. What would it look like if your foot was on a block? Something like this. This will help a little bit with the flexibility. So for headstand and handstand, we can have a wall behind us for safety. Here's what you'll do. Again, you can put your foot on blocks. For headstand, interlace the fingers. Head is on the ground. You're gonna walk in tightly. Push through, see how my head lifts up a little bit? Push through the heel of the hand. Press the head back into the wrist. And then take one leg up and see if you can give a little bit of dorsiflexion. You see I did that? The dorsiflexion to point. Then what you can do is bend your knees and place them on the wall behind you. Press through the backs of the wrist and try to get out of the Instagram arched position and scoop your tail, and your feet will come off the wall if you scoop your tail, which may send you back to the ground. But you see I'm more or less in a straight line, except knees are bent. At this point, you could take one leg up or forget about the wall entirely and learn to balance in this L position, which you came up on, which was this, and just sustain this position here. Okay. So I'll show with a chair. You place your head to the ground, come on up, and you'll step one foot up to the chair and maybe the other foot. And at this point, you're in an L-shaped position. You might just stay here, pressing through the backs of the wrists, pressing the head into the fists as well. And then maybe some of you will plantar flex to bring the body weight away from the chair and take one leg up. Now this is great if you have very little less flexibility in the hamstrings. Having your foot up this high on a chair is going to make it a lot easier for you to get light. So for handstand, it's the same step. You get close to the wall, and I really do suggest using a chair for this, but you could also just do the handstand prep with a jump. And then you would place both feet with bent knees. So I lean, grip, push, lift up, and then I load up the ankle and push off the ankle. Here it is. Feet on the wall, butt away from the wall. I look at my knees actually as I push through the fingers. Grip, grip, grip. Option to use the chair. And you can, of course, stay with both feet on the chair, lean and grip and push. Or you can take one leg up and hold either here or lean into the wall. And if you lean into the wall, I suggest bent knees, okay? Because then you can align your pelvis and start to learn how to do a handstand. But remember, on the way down, you want to come clunking down. You want to put one foot on the chair to give yourself a nice slow descent and make sure you're not stubbing your toe.